Ghostbusters 2 on NES. Activision is at it again with another Ghostbusters game. Activision, what happened to you? You have made Pitfall on the Atari 2600, and that is a good game. Nowadays, you've been pouring out movie-based games more than you could squeeze a cash cow. Anyway, Ghostbusters 2, we have the main villain, Vigo. We can see him in the beginning of the game and when you get a game over. In both times, he does the Sylvester Stallone face. As we can see in the game, is a side-scrolling shooter, and with only one objective, reach the end of each level.
Now that's what I'm talking about. Ghostbusters should be nothing about them going around zapping ghosts. So it's a huge improvement over the first game. But that's not saying much. The game still sucks your ass out through a straw. That's interesting because the movie Ghostbusters 2 is really inferior to the first movie. So I'm guessing the formula works like this. A good movie equals a shitty fucking game. But a not so good movie equals a game that's not as shitty. Where's the logic into that?
Level 1 starts off in the sewers of the River of Slime, like in the movie. The only problem is that the Ghostbusters don't use their proton packs in this game. All they do is shoot slime. Well, that is a step down for the game. As for controls, you know that a shitty game will use B to jump and A to shoot. It's usually the other way around. As for start and select, they don't do dog shit. So that means you'll never be able to pause the fucking game.
Really? What kind of an idiot would thought of programming a game like that? Someone must be having brain damage while he's drunk. That is just complete bullshit. No other video game doesn't have a pause function. If you want to pause, then you can actually get away from the game for a bit. Well, if you don't put a pause function, you have to constantly play it until you gave up and had to take a shit. Bottom line, have a fucking pause button. God damn it.
Anyway, the next level is a driving sequence in the Ecto 1. I have to come out and say it that I hate these levels. First off, there are too many obstacles here that will drive you insane. We got slime bubbles, bedsheet ghosts, slime monsters in the sewers, and of course Slimers. Now as you can see, if you get hit by the red slime, you will lose life. Yes, you will only get one hit deaths. That is bullshit. Die 4 times and it's game over. You also get limited continues as well, which makes this game even more shit. Ugh! Come on! Oh, you son of a bitch! Now you think I'm doing a shitty job? Take a look at the demonstration at the beginning of the game. It just runs into every obstacle, and the only way it gets by is because of the post-hit invincibility. Why is the game having a problem of playing itself? And I would have to say that the music is okay, but still lazy as shit in my opinion. In the side-scrolling stages, we got the Ghostbusters theme, which sounds a lot better than the original game. And for the driving stages, it doesn't sound like it belongs in this game at all. So anyway, level 3 is at the courthouse. Oh wait, is that Kool-Aid? Oh yeah! Wait, what? Killed by a gavel? Shit the fuck! This game is getting weird now. Whoever came up with this is a slime sucker. Level 4 is another driving stage. I'm telling you right now that this is insane. If you fall into these pits, you start all over. That's right. Who in the right mind thinks it's good for the game? I know that the roads get fucked up, but this is just way overboard. But I don't even care anymore. I never managed to get further in this, so I had to say I had it up to my ass with this shit. Overall, this game is better than the original, but it's still a pile of dog shit.
Man, I'm so disappointed with this game. It's better off to wipe your ass with it. I heard there was another Ghostbusters game called The New Ghostbusters 2 on NES, but it was only released in Europe. It made me so frustrated why it wasn't released here in America. I hate when video game companies do that.
Can Sega do better this time? Well, let's find out. This is Ghostbusters on the SEGA Genesis. We're stepping up to the 16-bit era, and needless to say, I am really nervous about this.
That's because if this game isn't as good as I've heard, then the world will come to an end for any classic game era for the Ghostbusters franchise. I mean, seriously, fire and brimstone coming down from the sky, rivers and seas boiling, 40 years of darkness, earthquakes, volcanoes, the dead rising from the grave, human sacrifice, dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria! Enough! I get the point! Get out of here!
So anyway, this game is surprisingly good to me. Out of all the Ghostbusters games I played, this one really aged as well as I thought. The same problem like the NES version is that Winston isn't in the game. What's their problem with Winston? What, are they racist or something? Well, since the other two games were a crack of shit, I'm just glad that this one is completely different. It's a side-scrolling shooting platformer with a non-linearity like Metroid, and you can choose your way to complete the game like in Mega Man. First, I have to say that the presentation looks great. The graphics look awesome for 1990, even if the Ghostbusters look like bobbleheads. The controls are great. The Ghostbusters respond to button input and they can shoot in multiple directions, which is a plus. Also, the music is great. Each song settles the mood for each level, and I love it. Each level has several bosses that are fun to battle with. The plus is that if you defeat the ghost, you get to catch a Slimer in a traditional ghost-busting fashion. The ghosts are a magician with no head, a floating man that clones into 3, you gotta shoot the real one, an angry snowman, and a fire dragon. No, not a fire-breathing dragon, but a dragon made of fire, which kinda reminds me of Barba from Zelda 2. The only problem I had with this game is that it's too hard. Nevertheless, this game is still the best I've ever played. A good game for the Genesis library, but a hard kick to the nuts! Out of the 3 Ghostbusters games I played, the Genesis version is the best one on the line. But if you manage to find it on the internet, I will recommend it to any gamer who is curious.
So, this concludes all the Ghostbusters game reviews that I have in my collection. So, it's kind of ironic that I ended on a game that is really decent. And you know what's more ironic? That the voice actor Lorenzo Music, who voiced Garfield, also voiced Peter Venkman in the Ghostbusters cartoon, while Bill Murray was a live-action Peter Venkman, and he also voiced Garfield in the live-action movie. Is there any connection to that?
And one more thing. Ghostbusters 3. Should it happen? Will it happen? Well, maybe. After the tragic death of Harold Ramis, I wouldn't be surprised that Ghostbusters 3 will be dead in the water after that. I feel sorry for him. This is the man who wrote both Ghostbusters movies and the latest Ghostbusters game. But I will say that the Ghostbusters franchise will never be the same without Harold. And of course I heard Ghostbusters 3 is still in the works. I'll have to give the people the best of luck for expanding the franchise. I love the Ghostbusters franchise. I would like to see a fresh Ghostbusters movie in theaters, if I could actually see one.
Nah, I gotta go. I gotta go watch a movie.